In a shocking power shift, the PFL has started raiding the UFC's roster, snapping up ex-champions and undefeated prospects with million-dollar contracts and full freedom over their careers. But behind the curtains...
Thank you for all the kind words. I appreciate it. I am so tired. Literally said nothing to them, never spoke to them or anything. That entire story was a absolute bullshit lie. The craziest thing we've ever seen.
Dana White is in panic mode, scrambling to contain the chaos. Has the UFC finally met its true rival? Let's dive right in. Dana White loses his cool. How PFL's aggressive signings sparked a full-blown meltdown. The MMA scene changed overnight when the Professional Fighters League officially acquired Bellator MMA for nearly $100 million in November 2023. Suddenly, the PFL evolved from a seasonal tournament setup into a genuine powerhouse with deep pockets and massive ambitions. But what really burned Dana White wasn't just the Bellator purchase.
Thank you for all the kind words. I appreciate it. I am so tired of doing podcasts. I'm literally done with them. I'm not doing any more podcasts.
It was watching his own fighters, one after another, jump ship to the PFL, leaving behind the empire he spent decades turning into the king of mixed martial arts. Dana White's first big outburst came at the UFC Vegas 73 press conference in May 2023, right after Francis Ngannou signed with PFL. The UFC boss didn't hold back, turning the presser into what felt more like a heated...
PFL's going to pay this guy to train for a boxing match that may not even happen and that they might not even be involved in. How does that make any sense? It doesn't make sense to me. I mean, Anthony Joshua called it a gimmick fight this week.
Therapy session, then a fight promotion. White sarcastically called Ngannou's deal absolutely genius, his tone dripping with mockery, questioning almost every aspect of...
And, Francis wants to take zero risks. Doesn't want to take any chances. And he obviously didn't want to take a chance against Jon Jones. And after we saw what happened with Ciryl Gane, you know, I don't blame him. I think the outcome would have been exactly the same. And I'm sure most of you do, and I'm sure Francis does too. You know, and the media makes it sound like that I'm saying that he's afraid of him. I don't think that he's afraid of anybody. It's just the fact that he doesn't want to take any...
PFL's business approach. His rant went everywhere, from Ngannou's so-called risk avoidance to PFL's supposed financial recklessness, painting an image of an organization blowing through Saudi money without a plan in sight. According to White, Francis wanted to take zero chances, refused to face Jon Jones, and was basically getting paid to train for boxing matches that might never happen. He mocked PFL for raising $280 to $300 million from Middle Eastern investors while running a company with no ratings and no ticket sales. His conclusion? The whole thing made zero sense, though, considering Ngannou's debut pulled in 1.2 million pay-per-view buys. It's clear White might have been projecting his frustration more than analyzing strategy. The fan reaction? Immediate and split down the middle. Social media exploded. Some hailed Ngannou's move as game-changing. Others accused him of ducking Jones. Reddit's MMA pages were flooded with debates, with one viral post declaring that Ngannou had just changed the game forever. Commenters claimed the UFC's monopoly was finally under fire. Yet die-hard UFC loyalists backed White, insisting that Francis had priced himself out of the sport's premier league. They argued UFC still produced stars, delivered world-class fights, and remained the ultimate proving ground. Their verdict? PFL was just the minor leagues with a major league budget, all show no soul. Meanwhile, others saw it differently. PFL CEO Peter Murray called Ngannou's signing transformational, not just for PFL, but for the entire MMA landscape. He highlighted Francis not only as an elite fighter, but also as a smart businessman. The message was clear. PFL wasn't just buying fighters. It was investing in a new way for athletes to control their careers and value. Then came Muhammad Mokaev's story in July 2024, an undefeated prodigy, 7 wins, 0 losses, ranked 6th in the flyweight division, and UFC let him go. White's comments at UFC 304 were coated with smugness, saying PFL got themselves a great unbeaten lad, while subtly revealing the UFC brass didn't like Mokaev's attitude. The subtext? Play by UFC's rules or find yourself out in the cold, no matter your record. Fans saw it as UFC sabotaging its own talent over personality clashes. Twitter went wild with outrage, accusing Dana of prioritizing control over competition. The optics were brutal. UFC looked like a company punishing independence instead of rewarding success. Then came Derek Brunson's PFL signing in October 2023, adding fuel to the fire. Brunson, holding a solid 16-8 UFC record and wins over top middleweights, was released after a rough patch. His open criticism of UFC matchmaking politics struck a chord with fighters and fans alike. When Brunson landed a multi-fight PFL deal worth over $300,000 per fight, it validated fears that UFC was mistreating its mid-tier veterans. But PFL's image took a hit with the Thiago Santos saga. Santos, who once took Jon Jones to a split decision, joined PFL in July 2023, a huge signing. Yet by April, he was among 10 PFL fighters who failed drug tests for EPO. White pounced like a shark, gleefully calling it proof that PFL had a doping problem. The scandal dented PFL's attempt to look like the clean, fighter-friendly alternative. Social media that once cheered them now asked whether their lax oversight encouraged performance-enhancing abuse.